I should have started way earlier, but at the same time, my advice to everyone now is, and tell me how you feel about that, because there are people who are still hesitant, either because they have some idea in their head about the industry versus the internet, or because they're just concerned that the game is too saturated right now. I say it's never too late to start if it's what you want to do.
There might be a lot of producers, but it's not saturated with you. You know what I'm saying? Like what do you sound like?
Let's be honest, you're not going to find these videos anywhere else. Why? Because I make them. So it would really help me out if you subscribe. If you've already subscribed, what also really helps is if you like the video and leave a comment. It's hard in the era of clickbait videos on YouTube and negativity in the producer community. And I appreciate your support. Thank you so much.
But you had an artist up there that you had did a single for at the time. And I remember hearing it and I was like, oh, this is fire. Who produced this? And so I looked up the producer. It was you. And I remember specifically the bass line that you played. It was this synth bass from Nexus. And you were messing with the portamento. That's the first time I ever heard what portamento was. You were showing how to change the portamento. And you were using Acid Pro or something like that. I was tripping. I was like, is he using Acid Pro?
Yeah, who would do that? That's crazy.
I'm like, at that time, I was like, yo, that's like,
or now.
It was just so unorthodox. Or you still use Acid Pro?
No comment, but please finish your story.
No, but that was the first time that I was introduced to who DJ Pain was, and you was talented back then, talented now. I actually downloaded back then, like 10 years ago, bro. One of your you had like this little 1980s throwback vibe loop that you was making. It was pretty dope. So. Yeah, shout out to you, Pain, man. You've been rocking for a minute. I've been following the journey.
That's a dope story. Who's the artist that you were working with that got signed to Epic?
So his name was John Hart. We did a record called Who Booty.
I know who John Hart is. Wait, you did Who Booty?
I sang the hook. I wrote the record and produced it. Yeah.
I supported that record a lot, actually, on Mix Show, a lot. I don't know what it was. WJQM. I think maybe, wasn't there a promo run?
Oh, yeah, there was a big promo on it. It started off independent, and then they put French Montana on it when he got signed to the label, and then they did a whole run.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure Epic sent him to our city through.
Oh, yeah, probably.
Through the radio station. Yeah. That was an interesting time because I got a job in radio thinking that it was going to, enhance my production career, and I don't think it did, but I got to see a lot about the industry from a different angle. And so, I knew it was, and there was a follow-up single too, I believe, but I know that record ended up on like our A or B list, so I was playing it a lot.
That's what's up. Yeah, it's a great record to this day. They still play it, especially on rhythmic radio, because that's where it got all of its fame and notoriety, was on rhythmic. The South never really picked up on it, but when did you start doing radio? Because I had produced another record that came out of the South that you probably supported if you were in radio at that time. It was called Trickin' If You Got It. It came out of Atlanta.
Yep. Yeah, I played that one. It was by a group, right?
Yeah, so I produced that record, and that's actually me singing the hook. But it's a whole story behind it.
Wow, you have a deep history. What was the name of that group again? It was something.
Melodies was the name of the group.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah, because that was like 2007, maybe.
2009 is when that record came out. Summer of '09.
Oh, it was 2009. Okay.
Yeah. So
I was in
deep
radio
history.
For 2 years. Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm glad that I can say that I supported all that. I still got them in my Serato. I did support all those records. I had absolutely no reason, no idea that you were singing on both of them, but that's pretty amazing.
That's
what was your first big placement?
Probably like a placement in traditional terms. A placement is when you get a record with an artist a lot of time that's already signed to a situation. Mm-hmm. That wasn't my case. My case was working with an artist that no one's ever heard of, and we building it from the ground up, from scratch. So with the Melodies record, the Trickin' If You Got It record, no one knew who they were. Like, we did the record, they put it out. In like 2 weeks, it was like the biggest record in Atlanta. And then they got a deal 6 months later. They got signed to Jive. And then that was my first big record. I had did stuff before that for Trina over at Slip and Slide. I had did stuff for E40 before that. But that was the one that really kind of, brought me some notoriety and kind of got my name a little circulating. And then Who Booty, that one went number one on radio and it went gold. That one was like the, you know, the big boy. You know what I'm talking about?
I was gonna ask, so that's your gold single then?
Yeah, that was the big boy right there. And damn, I just wish it would have happened a little later when streaming really took off, because that was 2013 was such a weird pivotal time where we were like, is streaming gonna mature? Are people gonna still be downloading songs? You feel me? So it really didn't get what we could have got if it came out now and did the magnitude that it did now, you know what I'm saying, with streaming.
Which is strange, because had it come out, you know, maybe 2 years prior, it would have generated more. And if it had come out, you know, 4 years after, it would have probably gone platinum just off the streams.
Bro, I remember when that record was out, there was this link circulating. It was a Lime Links circulation. And you can see on Lime Links how many times I got downloaded. That thing had got downloaded 180,000 times, bro. So I'm like, you know how much revenue we lost just to the downloads?
Yeah, and now with streams, that would have been, okay, well, not that much, but it would have been more than zero.
Oh, but if you were downloading it back then, you were downloading with the intention of playing it over and over. So
yeah, you're right.
That might have equated to millions of streams now, 180,000 downloads, you feel me? So, but you know, you got to adjust and kind of go with the times, you know what I'm saying? So times have changed obviously so much. So, you know, that's why you find me here on BeatStars now, you know what I'm saying?
Well, I was going to ask, so a lot of people, myself included, especially, you know, having some success in the traditional music industry early on, some people are resistant to any kind of change, but specifically, you know, the online beat leasing game. And I still see that among my peers, either people who are in the industry, you know, there are obvious exceptions like TNT or Ant Chamberlain and Cash Money, just people who are kind of fluidly navigating both worlds, which really are merging quite a bit to the point where they're almost indistinguishable from one another. But what was that process like for you? It doesn't seem like you were hesitant at all to go from producing, you know, gold records in the industry to jumping into BeatStars. But was that a tough decision for you?
I was very hesitant, bro. Like, you know, I started making beats, on ADATs, you feel me, with MPC and ASR. So there was a time where, you know, when producers really started coming about online, that whole SoundClick thing, it was kind of shunned. You know what I mean? You had two worlds. You had the world of producers who were striving to get placements and make a big name. And then you had this other online world that was slowly increasing, you know, obviously due to the worldwide, you know, net. And it was kind of looked down upon. So for a long time, I was just pushing back on. I was like, nah, I can't do the online route. It wasn't until October 2016. I still remember when I started, I was like, all right, I'm gonna really make this push to the online thing because everything has just changed so much. And probably what really motivated that a lot was the whole internet money run. You know what I'm saying? For a lot of y'all producers that's in here right now, if y'all was a part of that whole internet money time, internet money was pivotal for like so much of this online producer community. They did so much at that time. So I just kind of hopped on that wave. And I guess to a certain degree, I feel like, you know, it might seem like it was a little early, but I wish I would have hopped on it so much sooner, to be honest.
Yeah, I was going to say, because I started seeing it before I even was aware of what a placement was. I was seeing it happening with like the very first wave of online producers, like the Soul Eternities, and then everything migrated over to SoundClick, and you had what's that collective called? Was it His Committee? You know, like Vibe and Superstar. Oh, they were like, I felt Johnny like they Giuliano. I feel like they were the ones that really branded the whole internet producer concept in an appealing way. Right. Made it look cool, and you know, but it was one of those things where I think a lot of us couldn't fathom doing this for a living, because we're like, we get 10,000 off a beat from the labels. How much are you?
Come on.
What are you making
Come
off this
on.
internet thing? $12.99?
50 bucks. Yeah,
Right.
$12.99.
And in reality, I'm living at my parents' house, and they're investing in properties, and inventing their own sounds and doing it all on their own terms. So,
Right.
I'm on the same page as you. I really do feel like I should have started way earlier, but at the same time, my advice to everyone now is, and tell me how you feel about that, because there are people who are still hesitant, either because they have some idea in their head about the industry versus the internet, or because they're just concerned that the game is too saturated right now. I say it's never too late to start if it's what you want to do. You have to start at some point, whether it's now, whether it's, obviously yesterday is better than today, but today's infinitely better than tomorrow. You know what I mean?
I think that whole saturation question is like the saturation. There might be a lot of producers, but it's not saturated with you. You know what I'm saying? Like what do you sound like? That's what distinguishes you from other people, and just kind of going back to that whole idea of like some producers are still hesitant. I think a lot of it, Pain, like from our era of coming up in beats is like our programming, you know what I'm saying? Like I grew up listening to Dr. Dre, to Timbaland, and that was the goal. Just Blaze, you feel me? You wanted to be that. But Superstar O, right? Hits Committee, Vibe, their era was coming up in SoundClick. You feel me? That's their era. So that's their programming. Their programming was make beats, upload them, and lease them. That wasn't the programming that we came from. So now producers now that are on this stream and just online nowadays, they have so much more of a defined roadmap that they can follow. You know what I mean? As far as now, when you're a producer online, you're an entrepreneur. You actually are a business. You know what I mean? You sell a lease for $200. That's a real transaction. You know what I mean? And
that's
back
a
in
good
the day,
distinction. That's a very good distinction, because, sorry to cut you off, but
no, yeah.
Chasing placements puts us in the position of contracted work. But licensing
100%.
beats online puts us in the position of small business owners.
And that is what I love about it.
Yeah. Yeah, either way, we're running a business, but like as far as entrepreneurship, the online people have to learn way more. Whereas in the business, you have to learn the music business. I honestly think, you should learn the business regardless. You could be licensing 5 beats a month, and you still really need to learn the business and grow from there. But if you're in the industry, you really need to learn the business. You might need different resources, lawyers, management, that kind of thing. Whereas you kind of are doing it all yourself for the most part online.
You got to wear many hats, online. That's the truth. You got to be an expert for your customer when they ask you, hey, what does this mean when you limit 1 million streams? Are you really familiar with the verbiage in these licenses? You got to be a little bit of a graphic designer, right? You got to make thumbnails and videos. So you got to wear a lot of hats. But the beautiful thing about it is when you distinguish yourself away from the industry, this puts so much more power in our hands. Like when you're a producer that's just trying to get placements, you are at the mercy of a label. Like you're competing with so many other records to try to get in the actual, whatever 50 last records they're going to select for the album. Then you're trying to make it in the actual 20 that get on the project. Hopefully you ain't got to do no kickback to somebody that placed the record for you. You know what I'm saying? And then you hope you might get a single out that thing. It's a lot of hope factors, but when you go online, you can create your own rules, your own boss. You make everything, it's all on you.
And you might get a single from that too. I mean, I've gotten
100%.
I've gotten some, songs with big artists from just putting stuff out online. And then I've also gotten some pretty big records just by collaborating with people on BeatStars. And speaking of collaborating with people on BeatStars, that's really what the show's all about. So 100%. I don't know if you've heard any of the loops that were submitted, or is this all brand new for everyone?
This is all brand new. Maybe like making beats, being a producer nowadays is kind of like, if you was playing baseball, you might be super good at being a pitcher, but it would it would be very helpful if you knew a little bit about all the positions. You know what I'm saying? Not saying you got to be an expert at playing first base, but you should know a little bit about shortstop. You should know a little bit about outfield. You know what I'm saying? So I think all of those things help you to kind of mold it and understand, like, where does the artist go? You know what I mean? Like, you got to create space for the artist, you know, because that's the final instrument. You could have a hit record. It'd just be a loop of a guitar and a voice. That's it. You know what I'm saying? So, and there's been plenty of that. So as a producer, it's kind of like, I feel like you're right. Me being able to do vocals on it, it just kind of, I know exactly, you know, this is the pocket for the artist. You know what I'm saying? I have an idea. So I think a lot of times as I'm making beats, bro, like if I really hear something like a top line on it, that's when I know it's gonna be fire. You know what I'm saying? Because that helps me. Like I'm approaching it from a writer and a producer at the same time. Like this right here, I can hear Chris Brown on that. Ooh. Hold on, let's hear that. Yeah, I can hear for sure like some. Let's probably work on that one. Both of them on the beat. So I just kind of recently got into the whole using loops. Kind of you know, Pain back in the day, bro, it was kind of frowned upon, you know what I'm saying, using loops. So that took a while for me to adjust and be like, all right, I'm gonna cave in, start using the loops.
Well, you know what? I'll say this about loops back in the day. A lot of them just weren't very good.
Nah, yeah. I ain't gonna lie. You ain't lying, bro. I ain't gonna hold you.
Anytime I would hear loops, it'd be like, you know, these are basically for like amateur filmmakers or something. And, you know, here's like because the only people that really were in that world were like the old school rock engineers. So there just wasn't much that we as hip hop and R&B producers could make out of them.
100%, man. A lot of them were just like cheesy. They were just cheesy.
Oh yeah, because it was someone from outside of our music's space making them. Like, oh yeah, we'll just make some bullshit for these rap producers here. Let me use my one finger to do the entire thing. Yeah, it was a little sad, but especially the drum loops where there's, you know, you can tell when someone's not a hip hop cultural practitioner and they make that. And now it's like you got the most amazing, you know, you have like some like 15-year-old kid from Germany just reached out to me yesterday on Instagram, and he was making stuff that sounded like a 70s soundtrack. So we have a lot of options today.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. Yeah, you got it back. Let's see. I hear that little. Oh, you know what I forgot to do? Damn, I'm already messing up, man. Hold on, let me see. Let me go back to this quick. As y'all can see, I am not the greatest FL. I'm not an FL god. That is not me. But you don't need to be when you're making music, man.
Are you one of those people that's fluent in multiple DAWs, or is FL your go-to at this point?
You know what? FL is just my go-to. I'm one of those people that I'll use anything, but what I really don't want to do is be stuck in a learning curve as I'm trying to create. You know what I'm saying? So that's why once I learned with FL what I needed to be able to be, you know, proficient at what I do, then I just rock with that. Like, I'm still learning a lot about FL to this day because, you know, it's like you learn what you needed and then you just go with that and just fill in the blanks. What just happened, guy? Come on, guy. Let's see. I think we're good with this. So it's just that little I'm gonna just go ahead and do him like that right there. See how that sounds. Why is it doing that? Give me a second. Oh, okay. It's 86, that's why. My bad, give me a moment, guys. This sample is hard though. Shout out to you, Bufo. Damn, boy. Get your thing on that one. You was like, you was feeling real sensual when you made that.
Sensuality is Bufo's constant state.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. He's on good behavior in the comments right now.
Was he ever on bad behavior?
No comment.
You gonna let him do you like that, Bufo?
Yeah, even Anjanette in the private chat is confirming what I'm saying. We love Bufo. He's never crossed any lines. He's never been banned. Actually, I don't think anyone's ever been banned. We're a pretty open and lenient group of hosts. I think I'd probably ban some of the spammers that try to send the scamming porn links. If you're going to send real porn links, that's one thing. But if this is going to be the fake ones that steal people's identities, I'm not with that.
Yo, Bufo, he said you on good behavior. You like that kid that used to get like, you got to go stand outside the classroom door for 5 minutes, Bufo. Okay.
Yeah, he's that kid, and then he comes in, and then like you can tell that he's just really good at a particular subject, and you're impressed, and you're like,
all right, you can come back in.
You can come back in, and then the following day he acts up again.
We're gonna have to have a parent-teacher conference. All right, that sounds good right there. So let me put that on a mixer track. Maybe we'll EQ this a little bit.
See, that's key. That's subtractive EQ on damn near every instrument with lows.
Okay. Just in case my stuff crashes, let me go ahead and save this right quick. Let me put this in
another
folder.
Great piece of advice. I get so nervous because there will be producers up here that will make the beat up until the point where they're sequencing it, and then they realize, oh, I gotta save, and I just like my mouth goes dry.
Wait, you mean to tell me they get all the way done with the beat and then now they're just now thinking about saving? Damn.
Yeah, it's I get anxiety from that stuff. It's like when you see those videos of the people doing parkour on the edge of a skyscraper or something, like your stomach drops. That's how I feel watching a producer making a beat without saving it.
And then you know what happens when your whole stuff crashes and you lose it? You be like, DJ Pain, damn, that hurt.
It really does hurt. We've all been hurt before. You got any favorite kids?
You know what, man? Nah, I think I can't even say I have a favorite kid. You know what it is I haven't taken the time to meticulously go through the kids to find, okay, I really like this and I really like that. I might find a new kid and be like, oh, I like the hi-hat. Now I'm just going to this kid a lot. You know what I'm saying? So I need to delegate some time just for sound selection. I watch your videos because, and I can't find them anywhere. What do you say? Because you make them. But I watch your videos and I'm like, man, your workflow is mad fast, bro. I need to get on your level.
Yeah, because I only use like 3 or 4 kids ever.
Ah, that's the secret, huh? We might need a piano roll right quick on him. Let's go ahead and just give this a little variation. The good variation. Variety. You know what? I'm gonna give you guys a little sauce that I do. I really don't see anyone else do this, but I'm gonna give you some sauce. I like to take my hi-hats and I like to actually go like this and just play around with them. I might go left, right, hard. I might go left, right a little bit. Then these two will be centered. You know what I'm saying? And what that does is just ear candy. It just plays back and forth because when the artist sings or raps, they're gonna be in the middle anyways. You know what I'm saying? So I just do that just to play. You know, then I might leave these all straight. You know, straight up the middle.
That's a great. I've not seen other DAWs that make panning doing these sounds that easy.
Well, it's FL Studio, bro. You know, Fruity Loops, man.
You're right. Yeah, we used to call it Fruity Loops, and it was a big joke. It sounded like a kid cereal, and look at it now.
Toucan Sam. What is that? Toucan Sam making beats? Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait. Let's see. See this. Oh. Maybe we'll add one right here. And let's see. Velocity. Ooh. Okay, we rocking. We that sounded good. See, I'm messing up on my damn quick hotkeys. Girl, you got ready. Let's see. Oh, yeah, this is gonna be hard, bro. I like to try to name it as I go along, just so we can stay, you know, because you know when you put it in the actual mixer and you're mixing it, it's all everything's labeled like, you know, Wheezy out of here 0.2 clap 8. I'd rather just clap. You feel it?
Yeah, it does get annoying when it comes time to bounce everything.
And we are going to put I will say in recent times, bro, this Juice pack. Shout out to Juice. Juice, let me know something. His pack is hard. He really be having some dope ass packs. Rim shot. The good Remy? The good rim shot? Where are you from, by the way, Pain? What state are you from?
I'm in Wisconsin.
Wisconsin. Oh, snap. You used to be a teacher, right?
I mean, I did my requisite teaching, but I never jumped all the way in because that's when the Jeezy placement happened. So,
ooh,
I ran into the music business.
What was it? Motivation Thug 101, something like that?
It was off the recession. So that was 2008.
Man, what a time.
Right? Wait, fantastic. Then your OCD should be happy that he's staying organized, right? Thank you, Short Chef.
There it is, right there. We'll put it right there. No.
If this ever happens to you, if you think there's an account that's not actually me, just keep in mind that my accounts are verified. So that's the whole point of verification, to protect you from that kind of situation. But let me know if there's a fake one, I'll report it.
I used to never be a click guy. Still not that much of it. I still prefer to just play it, but it's easier, especially on the video, for you guys to see me clicking stuff in. But I much prefer to just play things.
Yeah, how do you normally make beats? Is it you have just pad controllers and everything set up?
I'm gonna go ahead. Got the good Carbon 49 right here, and I'm actually just gonna go and play him in there because it'll just be so much quicker. So just.
I don't think we ever got an answer to that.
There you go. Let's add an 808 up in this thing. This is an old kit. See this Playboy Cardi kit, bro? I think I got this in like 2018 or 19, something like that. But it's crazy. Like, it's the same to a certain degree. Unfortunately, it's a lot of the same 808s, but now my ear is just so fixated on them. It's like, oh, I hear that spins 808. Like, my ear hears it. But there was a time where it was like, there was no holy grail 808. Everybody was just using whatever.
Yeah, back when it was an actual 808, and now it's just everyone's just taking sub bass and run with it and created some pretty amazing and distinct sounding one shots.
Right.
I think this is the first time we've seen someone program drums with an external MIDI controller in FL.
Is that right? Dang.
On this show, yeah. But we're a newer show. We've only been doing this since July.
Yeah. I don't know. The click. I don't know. I think it's just because my first actual piece of gear was a motif, so I had to actually play everything. So and I feel like, honestly, there is a connection. I will say there is a connection between what you feel and your hands, your fingers. That's the reason why you always see people like, I'll put this, program on so I can give it a real live feeling. You know what I mean? Because it's the feeling. So I do feel like, to a certain degree, I'm still really tapped in and tuned in with just boom, 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 boom. You know what I'm saying? So. Boom, boom, boom. Here it is. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so apparently, if you hold Alt on your PC, you can preview longer audio files, according to Short
Okay.
Jab. Shout out to Short Jab. I don't know if that works. I can't test it out. I don't have that though. I believe you though.
So sorry, guys. I didn't even show. I'm using my keyboard now.
Yeah, guys, please don't ever contact an account that says it's me on a platform that I already have a verified account on.
All right, we rock with that. Ah, you bitch. I know it's probably killing a lot of the guys' questions. It's like, I just want to click it in. That's right there. I like that little pause. Nah, we'll keep that. Like, boom, boom, boom. And let's speed this up a little bit. We go hit the stretch, and maybe we'll go to 92. Probably 90 deuce. Let's pitch him up a little bit. 2 semitones. Oh yeah. Yeah, let's see where I rap with that. Kind of like that was kind of like some money bag yo kick right there. I'll rock with that. Play around with it. See that. And we'll pan these. Just mess around with the pan. Give them the good Peter Pan. Normally, I don't be producing on one screen. I have like 2 monitors. So normally I have my MIDI all on one screen, and you know what I mean? So like I'm not used to really working in one screen like that. So my bad if it looks like I'm kind of all over the place.
No, we appreciate you bringing your second screen over to the first just so we can see what's going on. Short jab, I do not have a Discord channel. I'm sorry.
And for like the hi-hat, you know what? I think this might be just part of my programming. Like when I'm making a beat, a lot of times I'm like kind of doing a rough mixing of it, so to speak, with, you know, along the way. Cause like my hi-hat, I already want to throw on some, what is it? Some phaser on it. You know what I'm saying? Some flangus just to give it a little. So we go from to a little, you know, candy on it. Maybe put like just a slight reverb on this.
I definitely have some questions about mixing, but I'll get to those when the time is more appropriate.
Okay, keep that in mind, Pain. For sure, we'll get there.
Oh, I got
that. Okay, so let me hear the rest of this sample. Okay, I do really like that part a lot. Ooh. Hear this. And this loop is so hard. It's like, I don't even know, like sometimes when you're using loops, I think probably a lot of us can kind of, agree a little bit. So you might get a loop, but the loop is so well put together and it has so many elements that you're like, damn, what do I add other than drums? Like, sometimes, a lot of times less is more. So it's kind of like, I want to feel like I added more to this bufo, but damn, loop is really good. It's good. What can I say?
Yeah, you trick yourself and you start feeling lazy, and
yeah.
Then you have to remind yourself there are a lot of producers out there getting huge placements and making amazing records with just adding drums and mixing and sequencing. So there's no
you got to
shame.
know when enough is enough too, and it's like, there's always this sense of doer. Like we always feel like we need to do something, and oftentimes when you feel that, you're just overthinking. Maybe a lead. I don't know. Maybe a lead on Let's see, maybe. I'll rock with that. We'll go ahead and add him real quick. See what that do. Okay, up one more key. All right. And let's see how this sounds just by itself.
FL has that same problem. My DAW does that all the time. It cuts off the first note sometimes.
Does it? Oh, okay.
I thought it was just acid.
You really do use acid. Snap. Yo,
Oh,
it's
damn,
crazy.
I admitted it.
Go ahead, Pain. Not does acid. He uses acid.
Right, yeah. Using acid makes me want to do acid sometimes.
And this one, I'm not gonna quantize it. I'm gonna just try to keep it as natural sounding as possible. You know what I'm saying? And I don't really need the music to make sure that it's on because you're just using the metronome. You know what I'm saying? Cool. Put that in the mixer. And let me try to format this up a little bit now. Let's see. Well, you gonna ask me something, though, Pain? Because right now I'm gonna just format him real quick.
Yeah. I know you're probably not going to go into the very depths of your mixing process, but
Yeah, I think because I'm gonna watch the show a couple of times, but do you want me to like go through the whole thing of like, you feel me, like everything, or
yeah, no, you don't have to.
Got the basics.
But I'm curious, how do you approach a mix? Well, say the beat's done. What do you do?
Damn, that's a good question. So generally, and I got this from, just watching videos on YouTube. Kind of starting off with the kick. You know what I'm saying? So like you would use your kick and let me just do a little bit. So this is not assigned to a channel, so let me just put the kick here. So, here's your kick, right? And here's the master. On my master, I'm generally going to have this L2 maximizer. Oh, my bad, because, again, I don't use one screen. Sorry, guys. Give me a second. It's crazy right now. So this L2 maximizer is what I use to like master the beat, so to speak. This boy right here, this boy. This guy, so you have your ceiling right here, which is always going to be set to 0. And then what I'll do is, my bad, Pain, let me answer your question. I start with the kick and I'm generally solo it. And I'm looking to start with the kick at this 12. It hits 12 on the meter. So, why is my kick playing? Oh, shit. There we go. So you see right now on the master channel, this thing is hitting hella high. So I'm gonna drop him down until he gets around to 12. It's generally what I'll do. So once he's at 12, that'll be my basis. That's going to be like where I start. And then everything else gets mixed around that. So from there, you know, I'll bring in my hi-hats, my claps, and everything. Let me just kind of loop this just so we can see. 808's not on the channel. Give me a second. So I mix really low, and then I boost at the end with the master because, you know, it gives the artist more headspace. You know what I'm saying? When I'm mixing lower at those lower levels, and then I boost it in the master by using the L2 maximizer, and then this plugin right here. Maybe you use that, Pain. I'm not sure you, Link, but I'm generally looking for an overall loudness of around 14 right here, 14.3. You know, this is the level that I'm looking at to see what the overall loudness of the beat. Because a lot of times you definitely want your beat to be loud enough for the rapper to feel like they hear everything. Because ain't nothing worse than when you send a beat to somebody and the beat is dumbass low. It's like, yo, turn that off.
Yeah, no, it's bad because a lot of people are. Well, let me ask you this then. Is this the process that you used back when you were using analog gear?
Oh, no. Well, analog gear, that was a hard time. Like, I did get introduced to the it wasn't the L2 at that time, the L2 maximizer, it was the L1. So I was using the L1, and I knew to just turn it up to where it sounded loud. And at that time I was using some, I think they were M audio speakers, and I would just leave it at the same on the dial. I would leave the dial at the same mark, and if I could use that L1 maximizer to get it to slap at that level on the knob, then I knew I was good. I'm just rocking with that. So a lot of it really was not technical back then. It was more so feeling. It was a lot more feeling than technical. It was just like, how does it sound? Does it slap? Is it making your chest poke out? You know what I'm saying? Is your snare making your head want to snap? You feel me back? So like now, the great thing about working within a DAW is you see things laid out in a graphic, you know what I mean? Which makes it a lot more visual. You there, Pain? Oh, okay. For sure. So let me save this one because I do want to get that other one cracking. You have another question, though, Pain? Bufo, I'm going to finish that beat just so you know, like all the way, you know, I'm going to get him all the way in the pocket, you know, and I'll send it to you. So we'll exchange info. You know what I'm saying?
So then when it comes to your mastering process, it's you're really just using the L2 after really, you know, focusing on the mix.
Yeah. What do you use, by the way? Do you use the L2? I thought you might have used something similar.
I use the L2 on, actually, I use the L2 on a lot. I use the L2 on bass because it's nice to just give it an additional boost control. And then I use the mono to make sure that the subs are as centered as possible. And then I'll use it on my drum bus. But I don't master in my DAW. I export the WAV file and then I master it in a different program, a wave editor, so I can see all the transients. That's because I'm just very visual.
Yeah, man, you have a great workflow, bro, because you be pumping out the beats, bro. Like every day I'm getting a new notification on YouTube. You know, I'm a subscriber. So
Thank you.
Yeah, man.
Oh yeah, let's talk YouTube. What's I know you upload a lot of beat videos. How do you feel about uploading beats to YouTube with all of the recent algorithm changes?
You know what? I really couldn't tell you. Like I never really uploaded beats and tried to play the algorithm too heavy. There was a point where I was, but my workflow isn't. I'm not the type of guy that's gonna make 16 beats in one sitting. You know what I'm saying? And it's my relationship with music is a little different. So I think what my approach to YouTube has been is like I still try to use keywords, right? You still want to use keywords and try to be intentional about how you go about uploading. But as far as the consistency in uploading, I might upload 2 beats a week. I might upload 1 beat a week. It really, you know, I I really don't know what I'm going to upload, to be honest with you. But I know one thing's for sure. After doing this for October 6th, 2016 until now, what's that? Almost 6 years. The one thing that you can do to completely mess everything up is to just completely stop. So, there's a guy named Charlie Munger. He's Warren Buffett's partner. He talks about that in business. He's like, what I like to do is identify what's the one thing I should never do. Because if I do that one thing, it'll just mess up everything. And that would be to just completely stop. You got to find, I think, the consistency for what that looks like for you on YouTube. Like, what does consistency look like for you? Does that look like 1 beat a week? Or does it look like DJ Pain, 3 beats a week, an interview, some motivational, and he's also doing the community post too. My guy is going crazy on there, It's like, but what's the consistency look for you in your life? You feel me? You got to find and identify that and just rock with it. I hate to think, Pain, sometimes that I don't want to become a slave to some algorithm. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just chasing the algorithm, and anything you're chasing is running from you. So it's kind of like, there's this fine balance of trying to find balance in your life and at the same time still giving people what they want from you. You know what I mean? Damn.
Yeah, there's a thin line between chasing an algorithm and being financially sustainable through a platform. And sometimes financial sustainability through a single platform isn't even the goal, or shouldn't even be the goal, honestly. And I'm learning that with YouTube. It's a frustrating fight because it feels like you're fighting the algorithm. If you're not chasing it, you're fighting with it once you catch it.
I really appreciate and respect that your just your journey, man. Watching the consistency that you've had and just seeing like your channel grow. And then now, shout out to you, bro. Like, congrats on the platinum records you got this year and some more stuff, bro. Like, and I'm sure a lot of those doors open just from you being consistent on your YouTube and people, being, fans of you and downloading your stuff and,
Well, it's like what we were talking about earlier. What is it that works for you and what can you bring to the table? And for me, if nothing else, I'm consistent,
right. You are consistent. One, I wish I could get some of that consistency, but nah, everybody's life has different demands. You know what I'm saying? Like, shoot.
Yeah, and there are people that are doing as well or better than me, uploading half as much as me. So everybody's different.
I think the thing that's frustrating about the YouTube algorithm that I have noticed is like, why does YouTube be just giving love to the new channels? It's like, if you've had a channel for 4 years, 5 years, 10 years, and you try to put out a Drake beat, you might not get no love. Then somebody who's got zero might put out a couple of Drake beats and they on the first page, and you like, I don't even understand this, bro.
I have a theory about that. I'm going to make a video about it. I have a very strong theory.
A very strong theory.
Mm-hmm.
Bro, please make a video because I can't find them anywhere else because you make them.
Because I make them.
Yo, I promise you.